Hey, Influence here, and today I got Poseidon, which is Nobi SD0101. I don't know who makes this. I thought it was the company that made the Metroplex, but after feeling this and looking at it, I don't think it's the same company, and it's a worse built product than that. I wouldn't recommend this. I'm not sure. I think I paid like $100, but I mean maybe at $100, maybe it was a little more than $100, I believe. But still, there's a lot of issues with it, and we'll get into that. But I don't really, I don't know. I don't know. It's small. Legend scale would be the original Generations one. That's the other thing. This is basically a downsized Generations, which the other Metroplex was not. So let's just get into it after the intro.
Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
And it's not built too well. See the arms there? He can hold at certain angles, but the arms fall over, fall down, and the legs are loose. They come undone a lot. Different things don't work right. The guns fall off all the time. These top guns here, they do have a couple mechanisms. It does have batteries and lights up, but I won't show that because I don't have batteries. And it comes with a bunch of stickers. It doesn't come with full tilt. I think that's his name, the car. And that's stupid. It has a big old box for no reason. You can see how big it is. It didn't need to have this big old box. You could have cut some of that box. Wasn't no other accessories in it, but the box and the guns and the instructions. Instructions are fine because this is easy to transform. I don't even know if you need instructions. So let's just go. A little closer to his head. You can see his face opens up, and just like to show his face. Like I said, it's just the Generations, I swear. You got instructions. I mean, they're okay. He's easy to transform. You got stickers galore. Maybe I'll put them on one day when I'm feeling bored or don't have anything else to do. But right now, they're not going on. And you got this big old box here. And it just shows his base modes, and this is how I could tell where you put the lights, or put where the lights are, and where you put the batteries underneath his neck. So here's the figure again. These guns are the guns I'm talking about. I don't know if you saw how easy that is. There's like a little notch and a little circle, and there's a circle and a notch. So I figured you put it in where that notch is, but I tried it, and if you can see, it just like ate up. It just eats up this notch because this was closed a little bit tighter, probably closer to this, and you're supposed to do that, but as you can see, they just come off, and you have a button here. Does that. That's pretty cool. Head. I never had the Generations, so I don't know how much of this stuff is on the Generations, but you open that up and you have his gun in his nose, and also you can open his mouth up. He has his teeth, and he has a clear gun in here because I believe that's where the lights are. Then you can open this up, and right here you can put the batteries. He has issues with his arms, like I said. You see how easy that is. If you're trying to get this guy like in a pose, this arm is better, but it's still flimsy, and I'm sure it's only gonna get worse. Like, this is fresh out the box. Just about one transformation. Just make sure it wasn't nothing crazy. And here we are, probably one of the biggest comparisons that people want to see. I think this is being made because of this, to tell you the truth. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I'm thinking they're trying to capitalize off of the fact that the people made Legends scaled Metroplex. So they wanted to try to make a Legend scale Triptychon, but just downsizing the generations, and they downsized it too much. Some different size Legends figures to compare as well. Different size Legends figures from different companies. We can do articulation. So his head, of course, moves on this big old thing right here, side to side. He can get his head up like that and look down about that way. He can open his mouth. I showed some of this. This doesn't move, but this does. Open that. Gun. And that's it. The guns move back and forth. However, as soon as you move them, they fall off. Push that button. Those things protrude. You got this right here. The arms go all the way out. And they also go out like that. So you can't get them out like that. And surprisingly, they stay out better than I thought they would. You got an elbow on the arm. See that? And you get out straight. The hand goes up and down, which is mainly a claw. You got the two claws on one pin and then the back claw on a different pin. And this again goes all the way around. Legs, they go out, they move around. They do have soft ratchets, and they can go all the way around. They can move out like that. You also have this, not really the best, but it's okay. Knees, no ratchets. You get almost 90 degrees, but as you can see, very much no ratchets. Feet do have ratchets, rather strong ones, which is good. And you see that gun fell off as usual. Then the toe goes down, and this thing right here goes like that, and no spinach or nothing on the toe. Tail wise, not really anything. You know, the normal movement, which is really for various modes, but you can use it for whatever. I'm gonna take these guns off just so they don't fall apart. Push that up like this and move this all the way around. You want to tuck these arms in. They have little notches that go into here. Push that up, tuck these arms on this little notch, and maybe it'll work. Yeah, you can put it up. It tells you to put them all the way up, but this big old notch sticking out just goes into the side of this, and there's no place for it. You would think they would have made a place for it if that's what they wanted you to do, but they did not. So do the other side, same thing. Just put it up. The guns were on, they would have fell off by now. You just lay it down, and there's wheels on his back. And right here where he rests, of course, we know. Now with this leg, you can just move this in and move this up. Do both sides, move it in, move it up. This stuff is so flimsy, it just moves all over the place. You can also move his leg back like that so you can get to this button. There's a button right here that you're supposed to push and be able to move this leg out, but it doesn't work. So you're just basically pulling it out and destroying that peg that's supposed to keep it in. So if you see, you push that button and that moves this way, so you can supposed to allow it to move around, but it's just a big stress mark now. So you just move that up here like this, and you're supposed to push this button again because it releases up here, so you can move it down. It does release that a little bit better. Then you pull this whole thing down, but while you're doing that, you can just spread this apart, and then all that goes down like that. Other side's the same way. Don't forget to push this button, even though it doesn't really work. Move that up there, push it again to move this down. Make sure this is all the way up. Then at the same time, just get this apart, which isn't hard. Go for this angle so you can see it better. Then you want to flip these out, flip this out, flip flip this out here. Move these down. Flip this over. Flip this over. This thing, you flip this over. Kind of adjust this right here. And if you had any type of Trypticon, you know what you're doing. Then you move this over here like that. So there's a clear runway. Put these up here. Close them. These guns is like such a pain. Even if you put them on right. Like I didn't put that on right. So I knew it would probably fall off. But even if you do, it doesn't matter. It's their pain in the ass. There you go. Got it in right. No. Somewhere. Please. One of these. There we go. In theory. So. And we're done, of course. So, I mean, it's base mode. Base mode. Trypticon's base mode. You can move these things whichever way, and you can't even see I was moving these over here. It's probably out of focus because it's such a big thing. Probably should use my other camera when I'm using these big projects. If we had full tilt, we could drive him down here, but of course they didn't give it to us. So what you gonna do? Now we can go through spaceship mode. Flip this back. Flip this back. Move this up, move these in. Make sure they're lined up because they can get off, and then you could probably break all the pegs off. This would not be good when it already doesn't really lock in. So then you move this. Then there's a piece right here that tabs into there, and this tabs really well. So I was like, oh, okay. So they made one mode pretty good. Same over here. And move that in. Actually, you can move these out if you want. Then move this down. That out. You can move these out like that. Flip this up here. Then you have this gun. And that's pretty much spaceship mode. And you can open up this, and it opens up. I mean, this can open up in base mode too to let cars out or whatever. But they have it like in spaceship mode, like this sometimes, and like this sometimes. I like it like this because it looks more, I don't know. But there we go. Spaceship mode. And that's it. Like I said in the beginning, I wouldn't really recommend this. It's cheap, but it's definitely you get what you pay for sometimes. You just want something that's small enough to fool around with, like, because the Generations Trypticon is big. So this is just a underscaled version of that. If you want something you can fool around with, you ain't worried about breaking. I mean, because it will. You might break it, but it's cheap enough to not really, not say not care, but it's not like breaking a masterpiece figure. So, yeah. If that's what you want, and just know that it's not the best made thing. It's not the best transformation to get there. It does look like the part. It looks like it does. I mean, it's just a downscale Generations, like I keep saying, but it's got little extras, little lights in there and stuff. It might look cool next to your Legends figures if you like that, or like I said, if you just want to transform it back and forth, you might want something like this. Other than that, if you're collecting to collect for your collection and want something great, this ain't it. All right, so get up with you in the next one.
You know, life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want it.